Welcome back to the blog, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy Jimmy English, and today's video is going to be what's basically going on in the world today, part 2. And this is just my opinion, my food for thought, whatever you want to call it. I'm just seeing how the world is reacting nowadays, especially with Disney Plus and Grease, the movie Grease, saying, people are saying it's sexist, and Disney Plus putting on banned on certain age groups watching classic movies and putting, warning signs uh, on classic movies that are above the age group. Um, my whole thing about this is, why is it always, this is 2021, why everything has to come back to race, right? Or sexism, or whatever the case may be. Why weren't we bitching about this? If it was such a big deal, why weren't we bitching about this years ago, like in the 90s or early 2000s or even 80s, the 80s? Why now, in this day and age, are we all of a sudden saying this shit is offensive, right? And this shit should not be put on TV and blocked and everything else like that. Come on, people. Well, the world, you know, the world hasn't changed. It's still round and spins on its axis. Why now? Why is it has to do? What it has to do with the Trump? Does it have to do with? I don't know what it has to do with, right? But this got to stop, people. We all have to get along, right? We have to stop saying, well, this is offensive, that's offensive, and then they get their way, right? But what about the people that says, no, this is not offensive? You know, we shouldn't have to, just because somebody says this is offensive, why should, our kids get punished for it? Why should this, that, and the other? Why should the people that claim stuff that is offensive get their way, and the people that don't think it's offensive get shit upon, right? We should all just be working together. It's 2021, like I said. Why aren't we doing this? Why is there still this thing about racism? And listen, racism nowadays, there's always going to be it, but just like there's always going to be violence, there's always going to be crime, there's always going to be, you can't stop it, but there should be less of it, right? And why are people so content and blaming stuff and being offensive about stuff that should have been already addressed years ago, when there's still fucking homeless people living out on the street, right? There's still people out there that, in this country that is less fortunate, but you're bitching about a fucking movie that was, I think, based, in that time zone, right? I can't remember when actually Grease was actually made. If somebody can actually tell me when Grease was actually made, that would. But in that, they were making a movie in that general spectrum of era. So why are people getting offensive now? Just like these classic movies like Peter Pan, Dumbo, the Aristocrats, all the other stuff that people are saying that are offensive now. Listen, these are classic stuff, and you're turning it into something that is not relevant in the world. Like I said, this country is basically broke, right? And there's homeless people on the street. There's people less fortunate than you. There's, you don't care about other people's lives. People are dying every day over stupid shit. And you want to care about classic movies that are, you deem that as racism because they offend you. You want to deem a movie that is sexist. You're worried about stupid shit, but you're not worried about what really needs to be addressed. Not not even in this country, but in this world in general. Why? If somebody could please answer that for me, it'd be a miracle, right? So just think, food for thought is before you start saying stuff is offensive to you and want to, protest and break shit up that, and riot and everything else like that, which are just hurting yourselves. Think of your fellow Americans that are less fortunate than you. Until next time, people, live your life, make your mark, dream and dream big, and I'll see you on the flip side.